Americans are richer than anyone in the world history of the world. However, many are stressed out about their finances. People live beyond their means, despite their income. Are they relatively tall? Are they running out of credit cards and living from paycheck to paycheck? Are you saving for unexpected expenses? Can you be financially secure even if you are not? Make a lot of money. Can ordinary people invest in the stock market with manageable risk? The answers to these questions are the beginning of a checklist for what we call financial literacy. When you talk about the checklist of things, people you need to understand in order to be considered financially savvy, I think it falls into several categories. It's part of your basic daily financial life. Debt basics and understanding what type of debt: credit card debt. What does mortgage debt mean? Which means of payment, budgeting, understanding money in, money out. They are things that can seem real at times, very simple, but clearly not. If you are not financially savvy, you should worry about your expenses. You need to worry if you can achieve your goals in retirement. Everything starts with income. Income means the money that comes in. How do you earn money? The law of comparative advantage is useful in professional decisions. Find out what you are good at and enjoy what others appreciate. I've worked very hard and built a successful business, and I don't have to worry anymore in my life, you month-to-month bills and things like that. But that's only true because it was earlier. I didn't have parents who gave me money. He had nothing to turn to. There was no safety net. But what I did was rigorously plan and set goals and then try to reach them. You don't have to have a business to think that way. Think about how you can make yourself more valuable potential employers, employees, and customers. How can you do your current job better, even if it is minimal? Employment, internship, or volunteer work. Do you work harder than the others? The first is there, the last one to go without texting while working. These types of options help you differentiate yourself from others and create value for you in the job market. Remember, in the real world, you won't get paid for the effort, however, rather if it creates value for others. And managing that money is just as important as making it. Spending is money that comes out. How do you spend the money you've made? Do you know where all of your money goes? Lots of people don't. If only I could teach today's youth just one: literacy skills, which is a need that people understand. Build your own financial budget and how they run on it. I just mean that I understand there are fixed costs. You have $3,000 and has expenses of $2,500. They need this fixed cost of what they have to do. There's the rent, the payment for your car, whatever. This number must be lower than the one you entered. I think the easiest way is to do the 50-30-20 rule, which is 50% of your monthly income goes into bills and housing. 30% goes to finances to pay off debts or to save, and the last 20 are for entertainment or excursions, e.g. things you love to do. So, of course, it has to be fixed first, gone, and they're done. And then apply percentages to the rest. I think very little of that happens. Some of the things can go wrong if you don't, and this is very common, of course. In the end, you live your life in a way that you are always trying to catch up, and it becomes great debilitating when someone is late. You can have the benefit of consuming it. Then there is a new paycheck, a new bonus, and they don't get it to enjoy the fruits because they bear fruit the last toy they bought. And then you live in the back instead of in front. I think that has a profound impact on your stress level, but only his inability to enjoy life. When people started layering priorities in your monthly cash flow planning, I think that would be the immense first step towards financial literacy. Assets are things that you own. Everything from your savings accounts to a house to a car. The path to building assets starts with saving. The best reason I can offer why a high school student too with a part-time job, you should save up to a point. Just a habit, it's a habit. I think there is something to be said the merit of simply saving $5 a week, $10 per week regardless of the number. Save regularly for unexpected expenses. You know your car needs to be repaired, possibly your cell phone they steal it and you could get sick. I like to open a savings account, that's why I don't see it. Money because when I see it I'll spend it. So I take out a certain amount of money on every paycheck, my car insurance bill at the end of the year, and it is automatically moved to the savings account. So that your paycheck reaches your account, and then automatically you have set up your bank account so that it can be sent from your checking account to your savings account or simply electronically from above. Turn your savings into a fixed expense. It has to come straight from your checking account. You pay yourself first. If that is there, it opens up a lot of freedom to then go carry out other investment accounts. This approach will help you live a life with minimal effort, financial stress and anxiety. It will help you avoid financial pitfalls and pitfalls. Make sure you are making savings to diversify your investments. Remember to never put all your eggs in one basket, just not. Because if that basket falls, well, you get the picture. When you buy a stock on the stock market, you buy a small part of this company. So he is interested in this company and he has become the owner of this company. And it entitles you to the resulting advantages. Hopefully, the company will do so in the future. You are at risk because the company may not succeed. So the stock market as a way to fund businesses in the United States carries a reasonable level of risk and reward. The best way for someone to trade with you a small amount is buying an index fund or an ETF or one mutual funds, because they have broad exposure to many buy different companies instead of just one position. What kind of talk is it about index funds and mutual funds? A mutual fund is a professional management and investment portfolio that brings together money from all types of investors, like you are looking for diversify your investments. This is the easiest way to make sure you don't put all of these eggs in a basket. Index funds or exchange-traded funds, ETFs, are similar except that they are managed to match performance a specific group of companies, for example, a technology group company or group of consumer products companies. Instead of picking individual stocks, I want Apple to own and I want to own Nike. Can buy an index that contains a full basket of these companies together. There are all kinds of different indexes and therefore index funds. The most common could be the S&P 500, which is a type of 500 large U.S. public companies. With diversification, you can be comfortable knowing that when the value of one asset goes down, others are likely to go up. But they want to make sure that the purpose of the money is them putting is money in the long run. The return on the stock market has been very good over time. However, there are periods when it can be very volatile. And here is the financial literacy. Hopefully, it will make you understand which instruments are good for short-term goals, what instruments are good for intermediate goals and then long-term. A powerful tool in your plan is compound interest. Albert Einstein once said, "The most powerful force in the world, the universe, is compound interest." Quote. The best way to take advantage of this is to start saving when you are young and invest strategically after you have your real savings account as ready. Over the course of 20 to 30 years of compounding, you add hundreds of thousands of dollars. I say this for normal middle-class families. Difference between when you started saving at the age of 50 and when you started saving by the age of 25 can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is simply for the sake of time and to make it possible the money to work for them for an extended period of time. Even with all the recessions and extensions of the past and historically, diversified stock holdings have increased approximately 7% real annual return. The return is extremely important. An asset that earns 3% per year doubles its value by 23 years, but an asset that earns 7% will double worth every 10 years. Invest in stock offers. Opportunities for everyone. It makes a huge difference when you can really use the time value for money when you put time on your side. The influence they get on this post for themselves because of the time value of money, it is monumental. And there are calculators that people can play with to see and never believe the results. Simple interest would work like this. You have $100, earn 5%. Now you have $105 and then you will win another 5% of that $100. Now you have $110 and next year $115. Next year $120, so that 5% simply applies to your original $100. Compounding means your $100 becomes $105 in the first year. But then 5% applies to $105, and let's add numbers $111 and then applied to it. Then the numbers begin to separate from the original, the denominator of money. And that's why compounding carries a real one specialist, mathematical. I think there really is no financial education when it comes to people. I don't understand the value of money in time. Liabilities are debts that you owe. The time value of money can work against you too. Many people get into financial difficulties all the time, spend more than they earn. Credit is available today. That's good and bad. It's good because credit can improve your skill, make attractive investments like college education or a home. Basically, I believe there is a crucial difference between buy something with credit that is an asset, consume something with credit. Okay, if you go to the pizzeria with your friends and use it, you don't have any money yet, got the pizza, it's really gone. When you buy a home, you borrow money, but you are buy an asset that retains some value, and then assuming that the service of this debt, the payment of that person returning with interest is affordable, enables you buy a very expensive asset before you have to save the total amount. To be able to really make sacrifices to save this deposit and assume an amount of debt that the service has of those might even be less than what they pay in the rent anyway, or maybe the same, so build up equity. The other example has always been, we're talking about students' debt, where you go into debt, you must pay for it, but at least build an investment in one career forward to the education. But borrowing can be bad. When you borrow to buy things you will soon be of little value. Take advantage of student loans to continue spring break or maximum credit cards just to pay the minimum amount owed. If you recklessly spend more than you deserve, the fear will increase as your wealth decreases and you will high interest payments on items you have already consumed. Usually, you pay for your vacation as well, surfboards, clothes, shopping, and going out with your friends with credit. Of course the asset is gone. You have no assets, but you still have debts. All you do is make yourself poorer. Avoiding credit card debt from the start is likely one of the causes the great blessings a young person can give to himself. Having to reverse substantial loans is very debilitating. Card debt when you're really trying to get ahead and move later in his adult life. It will make you a lot less secure financially because you will be stressed and you will have to worry about the interest rates rise because they cannot pay them cards every month. Someone could get to a point where they are literally spending money over $1,000 a month and they don't lose in debt at all. And I think that's what really happens in the end, that you get used to the idea, I have a set effort to make one I pay with a credit card. I paid $700,800 a month for a credit card payment. And that could be a very high percentage of your own income. Ultimately, it leads to this type of anger over feeling like you will never get any further. You receive a raise but you cannot save or invest money because you keep falling behind and getting to be off your back. The worst consequences of excessive debt, they were always emotional. Let the joy out of people. They increase their fear but take away their hope. They take away the feeling that one can go on. So income is the money you make. Maximize these income opportunities. To create assets, save things you own. Make a financial plan and limit your spending as well. Liabilities to things that add to your wealth or capacity earn an income. Most people don't need the education to be able to shop more pizza or hanging out with friends more, but it takes time, education, and requires sacrifice, character traits. Yes, one will actually learn the practice of saving, aim, environment, budget, things like that. I think the most important thing with people who don't know about it, financial market, or not knowing about a plan or saving a budget, everything we are discussing today is because they are afraid of sounding stupid or they don't know something about it. So don't talk about it at all. But I think that's the worst thing you can do. The more you talk about things, the better you will understand them. The more you know, the more you can share. Successful personal finance is based on sound principles and cultivated as a way of life, a way of life. You can enjoy financial security even though its earnings are modest. But it takes planning and commitment. Develop your plan today and decide to stick with it throughout your life. Your future self will thank you.